There we are. Hello. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. I'm so glad to have you here with me. If it's your first time, welcome. If it is not your first time, welcome back. I'm thrilled that you're here. My name is Amanda, and I will give you just a quick rundown of how things work, and then we'll jump right into it. What we do here for the next hour is EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. Now, you've probably heard of it referred to as tapping. If this doesn't look familiar at all, don't worry. You're still welcome and you'll still receive benefit from being here. What it is an overwhelm and trauma release technique. And it's very simple, it's very easy to learn and follow along with. The complexities get into how it connects with what it is that you're trying to release. So having someone who is a certified EFT practitioner is really beneficial because otherwise you might get stuck or feel a little lost doing it on your own. I am such a said practitioner, which is why I do this weekly to just tap on whatever it is that's coming up for you. And the way that you're able to engage, should you care to, other than just tapping along, if you want to put in the chat box what it is that you feel is in your way, I will do my best to incorporate it into everything that we do here today together. And if I don't right quite hit the nail on the top of the head, I will show you how you can still alter it so that it is personal for you. You still get that breakthrough. So even if you don't put anything in the chat, you're still going to be able to receive some relief and feel better at the end of this hour together today. Now, I don't go into why that's true. It has been deeply scientifically validated through lots of clinical trials. Um, all of that information you can find in videos on our YouTube channel. Here in this space, we just do it. So you'll get to experience it and you'll get to feel what's happening in your own body. But if you're going, okay, but why? Then visiting the channel is where you're going to find that information. And that is EFT Universe. If you just go into YouTube, into the search bar, type in EFT Universe, our channel will pop up and you'll find hundreds of videos that you can peruse on there. So I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat. Hi, Snea. Oh, you're so welcome. I hope that had a continued benefit for you throughout this week. Hi, Richard. Hi, Mama Hutch. Hello. Let's see. Oh, okay. Unconscious Life. Yes. Dawson has been asked to be a part of so many different programs. Like, it's really interesting to see how often his face pops up when you start getting into like the conscious um, guide type environment. His name pops up a lot, and he takes as many opportunities as he can to share about EFT and meditation. He's pretty well known for that too. Hi, Violet. Oh, I'm happy to hear you to have you here as well. Okay, still need to work on chronic migraines. I hear ya. Hi, Janet. Hi, Lauren. Okay, the ability to surrender the need to control circumstances. Ah, I hear you. Okay. Hi, Danette. Hi, Annette. So wonderful to have you all here. We will take a second to get grounded, but I want to share something personal with you for just a second. I don't normally bring up like my own stuff because I'm holding space for you while we're here together. But occasionally I mention something just because I feel like maybe it's relatable. It's something that could be insightful for you as well. And this is a lesson that I have to keep reminding myself of. And it's just that and I'm excited right now. I'm excited to be here with you. So maybe it's not as a parent, but I've been low energy for a couple of days and there's no real reason for it. I mean, maybe it's kind of hormonal, maybe it's, this or that. I mean, there are things I could attach to it, but really what is capturing my attention that I'm going ugh about is how I feel. It's not about reality, because I'm still getting things done, progress is happening, but I feel just kind of bleh, just a little bit. And I don't have what I consider to be like a significant reason to attach it to. So then what I tend to do in my brain, in my mind, in my processes is go, oh no, what's wrong? Am I getting depressed? Am I getting sick? Am I this? Am I that? And I start to kind of catastrophize it. And that's a fair way to describe it. but it's not a complete way. Because what I've come to learn, and this is the point that I wanted to share with you, is that growing up in a space where I had trauma and overwhelm in early childhood, um, I had these feelings as a result of that. And now, as an adult, even though I've really gotten a beautiful handle on releasing a lot of that old stuff, and when new stuff comes up or new old stuff comes up, I can, I have the governing power and the ability to see what it is and go, okay, I need to deal with this. I need to put that away for now. Um, but when I have something like where I am right now, I still have this pattern of catastrophizing it. It's almost like, because I started at a place of trauma, it's hard for my body and my emotions to recognize when I'm going through something that's normal. And so I try to attach it to something that's wrong. So if you have periods of time where you're just, your 100% is 60% today, and that's normal, and that can be hard to find a category for that if that's not a category that existed for you when you were younger, as you were learning what your categories were. Does that make sense? Um, so I just wanted to offer that to you, that if you have these moments where I don't know what's wrong and I'm grumpy about it, I'm frustrated because of it, and I did it, and now I'm more upset that I can't figure this out than I was before. Um, just take a breath, give yourself a break, and start to incorporate asking yourself, could this be normal? Could this be just a normal spectrum of, maybe I'm not getting as good of sleep, and maybe I could do a little bit better with nutrition, or maybe it has nothing to do with anything and it's the moon cycle, or it's the fact that it's been hot for the last week, or but just giving yourself a break and saying, maybe there's nothing I need to fix. Maybe I just get to listen to myself at this lower level for, you can decide the next 2 days, the next week. And then I'll recheck and see if, it's kind of fixed itself on its own, or if there's something I really do need to look into. So that's all. I just wanted to share that with you. So I hope that little tidbit is helpful. Let's go ahead and get into centering, and then I will check the comments further. Okay. So now that I've just given you something to really think about, let's try and put that down and just be present with our bodies. We're going to do this with a very simple exercise, where I'm going to ask you to focus on things and where they are. You don't have to validate it. You don't have to check it and feel it or look at it. Just think about it. Okay, so let's take a breath. Let that out. And now I want you to think about where in space the back of your head is. Where is that back of your head? Where do you feel it right now on your body? And remember to breathe. And what about your sternum? That bone just right down the middle of your rib cage, right over your heart. Your sternum. Where is your sternum right now? Just feel in your body where the top of that is, where you think probably the bottom of that is. Where's your sternum? Let's take another breath. What about your belly button? Where is your belly button? Where's your belly button right now? And how about your hip sockets? Where are your hip sockets? Where down in your body are those hip sockets right now? And remember to breathe. And how about your knees? Where are your knees? That knee joint on both sides, your right and your left. Where are those knees right now? How about the tops of your feet? The whole top of your foot. Where are those right now? And lastly, where is the arch of your foot? That middle arch. Where is that right now on both of your feet? And let's take a breath. Nicely done. Now I'm going to put my hands over my heart. I'm just going to set a quick intention for this time together. You're welcome to join me if you would like. My intention is that even though we are all over the world at different times of the day, different times in our lives, having different experiences, we're gathered together right now as a community. And there's real power in that, and there's real strength in that, and there's vitality in that, and there's connection in that. And it's meaningful that you're here and that you're contributing to this. And it's okay if your contribution has what you consider to be negativity or confusion. Just you showing up is meaningful and it matters. And I'm grateful that you're here. And I hold space that as we tap together, that you feel that connection and you feel that importance that you're here and you feel acknowledged. And by the end of our tapping together, that you feel better. Okay, let's take one more breath. All right, I'm going to check the chat again. Iona, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hi. Say, will I be able to view this session later? So I may have to jump off early for a client. Absolutely. I always post it immediately after the live is over. If you want to find it, go to EFT Universe. That's the name of our YouTube channel. So you can search that. There is a list called Tapping Tuesdays. So a playlist, Tapping Tuesdays. Also, if you subscribe to the channel, then it'll pop up somewhere in your feed, likely. Oh, you're so welcome, Mulberry. I'm glad that okay, and Richard, thank you. Okay, Alexis, I sad separate. So I hear that you're sad. I'm not clear on exactly what's going on, but we can absolutely tap on sadness. Hi, Dr. Scott. Glad you made it. Okay, so let's get going on our tapping. I'm going to start with the surrender because I feel like that's a really key point to get on the same page with the brain and then for everything else that we're going to tap on today. So, the ability to surrender the need to control circumstances. Okay, and I see Jane, you chimed in saying sadness also. So, we will definitely tap on that today. But the ability to surrender the need to control circumstances, so letting that go. So if you can think of something specific in your life right now where you're just so frustrated, where you want to do more, you wish you could do more, you feel the need to do more. It's a matter of survival, even where if you don't do more, then the outcome is really not going to be a good thing. But maybe you feel your hands are tied, other people aren't listening, people aren't collaborating. If any of these things ring true for you, pick one. If you've got multiple, and bless you if you do, pick one thing to focus on right now. If this isn't really chiming for you, for your own experience, choose something that maybe you've been chasing for a while that you feel frustrated with. If you don't feel you've got a sense of control, maybe a sense of frustration, of confusion, I'm not quite sure how to make this happen, where you're actively reaching for something but you feel like you're just not gaining any forward movement with it. So I'll give you a second to think about that. We're going to tap right here to begin, and the phrasing I'm going to use, I'm going to say, even though I want to control this. So if that wording doesn't work for you, then every time I say that, you adjust my words to fit what works for your situation. Okay. Even though right now, as I consider this situation, and I feel a desire to control this, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now, as I consider this, I have this desire to control things about it. And I'm judging myself for that. I allow myself to release that judgment for now and hold space to be curious as I consider this situation and my desire to control things about it. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. This situation, control, the way this is unfolding, my intervention. This situation, I really need to control it. I think I need to control it. I think it's wrong for me to feel like I need to control it, but I don't know how to stop feeling that way. Even if parts or all of me are feeling these things, I hold space for myself anyway. And I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that this is where I am, that I'm feeling these desires and urges of control. I acknowledge whether I like it or not, whether I want it or not, this is where I am. This control, this control that I feel in my body, in my thoughts, and in my emotions. I wonder, what is it about control that's gotten such a bad reputation? Why is control a bad thing? Maybe it's bad because it involves other people. It's okay to control things like your car. You're supposed to control your car. In fact, that's how you're responsible with a car is to control it. But you're not supposed to control other people. I suppose that could be a way. Maybe control has gotten a bad rap because it's a way of saying, I think my way is better than your way, and I want to control the way things are being done. And so it sounds intrusive and like I'm not listening, or like I'm placing my value higher than someone else's. And maybe I am. Maybe I legit feel that is true. Even if these are the reasons that this desire for control feels bad right now, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, do I consider myself to be a not good person? Does it seem like this desire for control is just my innate personality? No, I don't think so. So I wonder, why would it be triggered? Why would a desire to control this be activated? What if this desire for control is a response to something? What could it be a response to? This control, this control that I want, this desire to control. a response. A response to something. This control is a response. Is this desire to control a response? Whether or not I'm clear right now if this desire to control is a response or not, I hold space to continue to check it out for a little while. This control, this response. Okay, if it is a response to something, what type of stimuli would cause a response of control? Am I feeling safe right now? Am I feeling like any outcome would be okay? Or am I afraid that certain outcomes could be really overwhelming, really scary, really devastating, really hurtful? Wouldn't it make sense that if there are outcomes, potential outcomes, likely outcomes that are going to hurt me, that I would want to control that? Yeah, of course. So maybe I can have compassion for myself, compassion for this reaction of my desire to control this outcome. But now what? It's nice to have this compassion for myself, but I still have this issue and I'm still afraid or concerned about the outcome. And I may not have complete control, no matter how much I try, of what this outcome will be. I wonder, is there a place within this outcome where I do have empowerment, where I do have some control, and not in a negative sense, but in an empowering sense, in a protective sense, in a way that will allow me to feel less afraid, less overwhelmed, and more able to handle the outcome as a whole. What are my choices to offer support and safety for myself? Oh, I can't engage any of those. No, that's that's wrong and that's selfish and it's not likely and I'll be punished if I choose any of those things. Um, it would just be worse. Even if parts or all of me have these concerns about me seeking my own empowerment, I still hold space that I can be surprised at discovering a way that won't create more hurt, that will offer me support and safety. My options. My options to feel safe. My options. My options to feel good about the outcome. My options in my own empowerment. My options in this circumstance. My options in this outcome. I may have some ideas. Maybe I'm a little hesitant because they're scary. I may have no ideas. Even if right now my response to this idea or these new ideas of my options is still a little nervous, a little hesitant in my emotions. I agree to hold space for them at whatever distance I need to feel comfortable so that I can poke at them and think about them and analyze them at my own time and my own pace. But I do choose to hold space for them because I do desire an outcome that is safe and that is good. So I hold space for that to come to me. And as I hold this space, I may need to take action. I may just have to sit still. Whatever the process is for me from this point on, I offer myself support. And if I hear myself or feel myself asking for control, I can offer that control a companion and ask, what do you need to feel safe? What do you need to feel supported? And I may be kind of messy with this at first, and that's okay because maybe it's the first time I've ever tried it. However many tries it takes, I allow myself every single one. And as I do this, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause and take a deep breath. Good job. Okay, and let's see. Okay, more on sadness. Impact trauma is having on how I feel and what I can accomplish. Okay. Mm. Oftentimes, control is a trigger from not feeling safe. Um, and sometimes to feel safe. So not feeling safe is a survival trigger. If you feel threatened, then your brain is going to upregulate, and it's going to be difficult to convince your emotions that other options are okay to pursue. So anytime you're feeling that trigger, I highly recommend tapping while you're thinking, while you're talking to yourself. Um, there is potential real danger in having your boundaries overstepped. So the response in your brain is accurate to be activated at that time. We want that. One way that it could kind of get in your way, though, is that if you do have other resources that you could reach out to, you can talk to someone that you trust. You could reach out to an organization that's trustworthy, taking action to start to reach a safer place. Um, all of those, depending on your history, can feel unsafe as well. So, tapping as you're considering your resources can really help you to feel like there are actual possibilities of resources. Whereas if you're in this really heightened trigger state, especially if it's not your first time that you've been there, um, you're likely to just ball up and crunch up into yourself and freeze, rather than being able to attempt to reach out to these other resources that maybe didn't exist or they didn't exist in um, a genuine manner earlier in your life. So I'm sorry that that's the experience that you're having. I hope that that's helpful. I hope that that tap was helpful. Um, I'll be thinking about you. Okay, let's go into sadness and then we'll look into doing a little bit on the physical body. Yeah, so Mulberry, what you just said as well, that things ending, grief. There's a lot of words that could be attached to sadness. It can be a heaviness, feeling depressed, feeling detached, feeling dissociated, feeling quiet, feeling like you've given up, feeling like things aren't worth it, feeling low energy, feeling like you just don't care anymore about certain things. If any of these emotions, if any of that in your body is what you're feeling and experiencing, um, go ahead and focus in on that right now. If you have a particular circumstance, an event, you can go ahead and focus on that. If you don't, and it's just an overall generalized feeling, focus on where it is in your body. Do you feel it really heavy in your chest? Does it feel like a weight? Does it feel like a clench? We're going to go through and get these different aspects. So it will assist us in tapping to release it. So let's go ahead and get started with our tapping. And if you have more than one aspect of sadness and you have a better word for it, even if it seems like a less descriptive word, like wait. If I've got grief, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Oh, it's just so much weight. I've got all of this weight. And that's what feels like a light bulb for you, then go with that word. I will stick with the word sadness, but definitely switch it to the word that works best for you. So we're going to take just a moment and focus in on where and how this is presenting for you physically in your body. So as you think of this word that describes these emotions that you have. So I'm going to say sadness. So this sadness. When you hear yourself say the word sadness, where does that echo in your body? Do you feel it physically, in your muscles, in your bones, in a certain organ, in a certain location? Does it feel on the surface? Does it feel deep? And then what sensations are with it? Does it feel thick? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel vapory? Does it kind of float around, or does it feel like it's really deeply attached in one spot? I'll give you a second to analyze that. And now we're going to engage other senses, other sensory organs. So, what color is this sadness or other word in your body, in your energy? What color is it for you? And even if you don't have an immediate answer, or you're like, that's weird to think of a color for this, the reason we're doing it is the way it engages the brain. And the more description that we can give our brains to it, the more it will target it. So that's the importance of it. So, what color is it? And then moving on to another sense, if you could smell it, what would it smell like? What would this sadness smell like to you? My brain said dust. And if you could hear it, if it was making a sound in your body, if you could hear the sound that it's making, what does it sound like? And if you could taste it, what taste would this sadness have? As I consider all the aspects of this sadness that I'm experiencing, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though the sadness feels so big and so intense right now, especially from focusing on it so much, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though, as I consider the depths of this sadness, and I realize how incredibly present it is for me, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. This sadness, this sadness in my body, the effects of this sadness, the effects on my body, on my mind, on my energy, this sadness, all of this sadness, all of this sadness in my body. The taste of this sadness, the smell of this sadness, the sound of this sadness, the feel of this sadness. Even though I am currently experiencing all of this sadness, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder why. Why do I bother accepting myself here? Why does it matter? Why does it matter if I accept this sadness or not? Why does it matter if I feel it or if I dissociate from it? What does it matter? Well, maybe it matters. Maybe it matters. I wonder, in what ways would it matter? Maybe part of this sadness is so sad because it feels so lonely, because it feels unacknowledged, because it feels invalidated. I wonder, do I have the right to feel this sadness? That's a weird question. But yeah, I wonder, do I have the right to feel this sad? Hmm. No, no, I don't. I don't have the right to feel this sad. In fact, shame on me. Shame on me for struggling. Shame on me for feeling sad. Shame on me for allowing myself to continue to feel sad. I should have it figured out by now. I should be moved on. I should have better insight. I should be stronger than this. Oof. Wow. That's a lot. Even if parts or all of me are feeling this, all of this judgment against my right to feel sad, I choose right now to release it. And maybe I was aware I was judging myself, and maybe I wasn't. But either way, I'm done with that right now. That doesn't feel good, and it's not helpful. And maybe I was taught to think that way about sadness, or maybe it's something that I decided on my own. But wherever it came from, I don't want it. So I choose to release it. I choose right now to accept where I am. I'm sad. I'm really sad. I'm having a hard time with heavy things and it's affecting me. And I say right now, it is okay. It is okay for me to be having these feelings. And it does make sense. Even if it's not where I want to stay, my goodness, it's okay that I'm here. It's okay for me to have hard times and to have big feelings about that. It's okay for me to be affected by my circumstances. It's okay for me to feel sad. As I give myself permission and hold space for this sadness that's needing to express, I deeply and completely accept myself. I embrace my sadness, not because I want it as my personality, but because I validate it. Heck yeah, I'm sad. Of course, I'm sad. It makes sense that I'm sad. I would be confused if I wasn't sad. But now what? Now that I've given myself permission to feel it, I still have it. So I wonder, is there a way for me to feel better, even if I still need to process this? Can I give myself permission to feel sad, and can I give myself permission to feel sad and go enjoy my cat, my dog, my show, my friend? Yes. Yes, I can. No. No, I can't. Whether or not right now I'm clear on giving myself permission, I hold space for the possibility of permission. I wonder, what would it mean if I could feel multiple things at once? If I gave myself permission to feel sad and seen, sad and happy, sad and safe, sad and fulfilled. I'm a complex being. I do have lots of emotions, and sometimes they are present at the same time. Maybe it is okay for me to allow not just my sadness, but other things too. And they don't negate each other. In fact, maybe they keep each other company. Maybe by allowing myself to feel other things when I feel sad, I'm giving myself the ability for support, to support myself as I find where I want to be with this sadness. Allowing myself support. Support for myself. Support for my sadness. Other emotions. Other experiences. Allowing them all in. Accepting them, even if they're contradictory. Releasing any judgment. I'd give myself permission to feel sad and anything else that I want and that will feel good to me, especially as I process this sadness. My support. My support for me. And as I allow the expression of my sadness with my full support and the expression of my joy, of my peace, of my calm, of my silly, of my safe, with my full support also. And I allow them to integrate in whatever way works for me right now. I deeply and completely accept myself. Take a breath. Good job. I'm going to take just a moment and tune back into that spot in your body where you felt that sadness. And I forgot to ask for a SUD score, but just gauge real fast if it feels better, if it feels a little bit more light, if it feels a little bit more transparent, all of those attributes that you gave it before, if they're just a little less present, or just feel a little bit more comforted from doing that tap. All right, we are going to jump right into tapping on our physical bodies, I am going to see. Oh, I love that you guys are putting in what your sensory responses were. I love that. Oh, Dr. Scott, I'm so sorry. I got punished for my emotions too, not just being sad. Even just I was too happy. I got punished for being too happy. Um, so something that could you could do for that, Dr. Scott, and anyone else who's had a similar experience is as you tap, if you have those memories pop up of, oh, I wasn't allowed to feel in this circumstance with this person, you can go back in time because it's true in your brain, right? So that's what you're doing is you're adjusting it in your brain. We can't really go back in time, but we can here where it's still alive for us and see it being different. Go back and tell your younger self, you express all you want to me, or this was a long time ago. You can come up and be with me where the present is now and express everything you need to. And really validate those experiences from this present moment. That's been really helpful for me. Okay, into the physical body. So I know we're tapping for pain, for migraines. If you have any other pain in your body, if you're not experiencing pain, but you've got something else that you'd like to tap on, just focus in on whatever that is. I am going to say pain. I'm not going to make it specific to the head. I'm just going to talk about pain in the body. So just get centered in on where that is. As I focus on this pain in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even if, as I said that, I felt a lot of emotions and I didn't want to accept myself, and I said to myself, no way, I do not. Even if that's what I did, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. As I start to address this pain in my body and communicating with my brain about it, I appreciate my efforts, and I do deeply and completely accept myself. This pain, this pain in my body, this pain in my body that lingers, this pain that gets in my way, this pain that creates a lot of emotion, this pain that brings on a lot of judgment, this pain that just windfalls so many other issues. Even though I really have a lot of feels about this pain, right now I choose to release those just for a few moments. And I give myself permission to be curious. I don't give myself permission to be curious. That's ridiculous. I want to be mad. I want to be mad about this pain. I just want to be furious. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to make it better through words or positive thinking. Forget all of that. I'm in pain and it hurts and I'm tired of it and I'm overwhelmed and I just want it to be better. I don't want to have to try anymore. I don't want it to be some trick of the mind that it doesn't last, it comes back. I need a solution and I'm angry that I don't have it. And I don't hold space for tapping. Even if this is the truth of where I am right now. I acknowledge all of it. I validate all of it, all of these feelings. Absolutely, I feel this way, 100%, as I should. I wonder if that's really, truly how I felt. Why am I here? Why would I be participating in tapping? Even though I have some really strong feelings about this pain in my body, I hold space. I hold space to learn and to maybe see. I suppose, even though it's vulnerable and it's scary for me to say it out loud, the truth is, I do want a solution. And I am hoping that this will help. I've just tried so many things and nothing's worked. And it's scary to have hope. And it's scary to give trust when it hasn't worked out for me yet. Even though I have this pain in my body and it's not resolved, despite all of my efforts, despite all of my good feelings and my trust and my belief, I still hope for a solution. I wonder, is there a part of me that feels like, because my issue is so big and it's been around for so long, that my solution also must be big and it must be complex and it must be difficult to find? No, I don't want to say that's true, but maybe it is true. Whether or not I have a belief that my solution must be as difficult and complex as my problem, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, could it be true that my solution is simple? What if my solution surprised me? What if all I had to do was to keep doing my best? What if all I had to do was to agree to really listen to myself? What if I took care of myself in a kind way, not pushing, not blaming, not in anger, not in fear? But what if my part of the solution is to do my best with what I've got? And maybe if I'm consistent with that, what if my solution just, wah, just surprises, surprise? Is that possible? Could that happen? I would really like for that to happen. I haven't tried holding space for that yet, even if maybe it feels a little bit pie in the sky or um, extremely positive. Maybe other people would call me um, or judge me for holding out for something so simple and something so positive. But it's not impossible. And I have heard stories of people who just heal all of the sudden, of people who have this chance meeting with someone and they get what they need. I've been working so hard to find a solution. Maybe Maybe I could give this a try. I give myself permission to stop trying so hard and to allow my energy to go towards kindness and what feels good to do in a day. Trying new things, this pain, allowing solutions, this pain, feeling good about my own give, this pain, supporting my body in the best way I know how, and trusting that that is enough. Trusting that that's enough consistently. And as I give this a shot, I allow myself these boundaries of releasing judgments, of feeling good, and of holding space for ease and holding space for pleasant surprises, even with something like this pain. And as I try this new pathway out, I deeply and completely accept myself. Take a deep breath. That's a slightly different version of tapping on pain than we've done before. Pain is another one of those things that will really just ignite that survival response. And then you get that tied into chronic pain, and it can get messy real fast in the messaging that our brain is having on what to do about it, what it can do about it. And things get muddy pretty easily. So, allowing yourself to play in your beliefs and play with what feels good while you're tapping can really help center in on something that feels good, even if you're in a space where you're not seeing a lot of forward movement or forward progress in it. And I am speaking from experience. I had a chronic disease for 17 years, extreme migraines. They would get so bad I couldn't see or hear anything. It would just be black. And it sounded like I was standing under a waterfall. Bedridden through childhood. Like there was a lot. There was a lot to it. So I speak from my own experience with these tools. Maybe they'll be helpful for you too. Thank you for being here with me and doing our tapping today. I hope that you feel better. I hope that you have felt the love and the support that you have in this community. And if you have ever, I, I am struggling with pronunciation today. If you ever have any questions, sorry, I just feel like I sounded like a dog just then. Just, ah, rah, rah. If you ever have any questions that you want to ask me, if you have any suggestions for the Friday videos, please feel free to email me. It is at the top of the chat. It is also Amanda at EFTuniverse.com. Have a wonderful week. I'll be thinking about you, and I hope I get to see you again next week. Take care. Mwah. Love ya.